Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another GVN Presents Coffee Break, where apparently me and Brittany have taken about 3 weeks off now at this point. So
No. Let's just gaslight them until they believe that they just missed an episode, please. We can pretend to you.
it's the holiday season. Happy holidays, by the way, Brittany. And we're busy.
Hey, I had finals week with college, so I got excuses. I
You
got
got
excuses out the butt.
My excuse is that I've been working and just I don't know. The stars have not aligned for.
You got a busy life, gal.
No, I know, and it's so crazy. So like every Wednesday we do the Marvel Cinematic Review, and right now we're reviewing Hawkeye, and we do that every Wednesday. And literally, like last week, I thought that I wasn't even going to be able to make it because I literally only had time to watch the episode like right before the podcast. I was like, I only have time for this. So, and then I was even late to the podcast. And so it's like as soon as the episode ended, I was like hopping on.
Was there a part of you that was like, I could fake it. I could totally fake this one scene that they're talking about.
If I could be like totally honest, and it's like I always like to admit when I'm wrong, but God, Brittany, the show is actually
good.
It's actually
Is it good? Did it make you warm up a little bit to Hawkeye?
It's not even that. It's like it's shot really well. The story's good, the cinematography, and like Haley Steinfeld, who plays Kate Bishop, is honestly one of the best new characters that they've introduced this year in Marvel. And she's so good at what she does. And that's like makes it exciting, you know?
The only scene I've seen of that show is him turning off his hearing aid, and I thought that was kind of like, I thought that was a well shot scene. And I, like, a lot of people were like, oh, he's just upset because he didn't get a place in the musical, and it's like, no, he's traumatized because of Natasha. Like he's not wanting to see her. He's like having a panic attack right now.
Well, and that's the thing is that I've seen that too. And it's like, listen, everyone knows how much of like, oh, sorry, I felt like I was going to sneeze for a second. I might still. But
Purple, say purple.
But what you calls it? It's like everyone knows I've not been the biggest Hawkeye fan, especially like Clint Barton, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, when I heard that argument, I was like, that makes zero sense. Like he literally turns his hearing aid off during the scenes when like Natasha is singing and dancing. So I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. He legitimately had to let her go.
And so the cinematography is so good, the characters that they're introducing, and I'm telling you, like, I don't want to get myself too excited, but it is very possible that they may be bringing in a character from the Netflix universe into this show.
I heard that it was confirmed he was coming back.
Well, no,
but I don't know which one.
So Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, confirmed that when we see Daredevil, he didn't confirm when we'll see Daredevil. He just says,
yeah.
When we see Daredevil, it will be Charlie Cox playing Daredevil.
Yes.
But the character I'm talking about, spoiler alert for those who haven't been watching Hawkeye, I know you don't care. But,
I don't care.
It's really like obvious that Wilson Fisk is coming in. Like it's so obvious. There's literally a scene where they introduce, so there's this character Echo who's really badass, and there's a flashback scene to her as a kid, and it's like her dad, saying bye to her, and then like the dad steps out of the frame, right? And all you see is like from here down a suit with like a big hand chuckling and stroking her face. And it's like, that's Vincent D'Onofrio. That sounds like Vincent. And then, wait, hang on. And then they keep referring to like my uncle. You don't want to mess with my uncle, or, you don't want to mess like, but, and it's like, so like it's like I don't want to be. I don't know if you were on Twitter during the whole WandaVision and the Mephisto stuff and all that, but it's like I
I
don't.
kind of got like a gist of it.
So it's like I don't want to be the person there saying like it's Wilson Fisk, it's Wilson Fisk, and then it doesn't end up being Wilson Fisk. But I'm like, I just really feel like it's all leading there.
Yeah, it's gotta be. By the way, the reason you saw me cut my eyes and start laughing
Mm-hmm.
was because you know how I said later on I wanted to talk about D&D, right? The character I made for that, her name is Echo. So I started laughing because I was like, what are the chances? What are the chances?
And Echo's this really cool character. Her character is deaf, and the actress that they hired is also a deaf actress. And her dynamic with Clint Barton as he's losing his hearing is really cool because he's still using a hearing aid, and she obviously has embraced being deaf. So there's this one scene where she like literally like kicks it out of his ear and everything.
Shit.
but anyway, my whole point is apparently, like Juwan told me, in the comics, Echo is greatly tied to Daredevil. So it just makes sense that frickin' I'm just saying, we got 2 more episodes left. If at the end of the season, even if it's just in a cutscene, because by the way, it's been confirmed that Echo is getting her own show on Disney Plus, right?
Oh shit.
Even if it's just the post-credit scene, if we see Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk.
What if this is the reason behind all the cancellation of the Netflix Marvel was because they were leading up to put all of these characters over here and move them over?
Well, that's what Jawan says. He's like
me and Jawan, great minds think alike. we got it.
That's what he said. He's like, there's no way that Kevin Feige doesn't want to bring at least some of those characters in. So I'm like,
Frank Castle.
Well, the fact that he confirmed that it would be Charlie Cox, and a lot of people then also surmise. So like Spider-Man No Way Home comes out this Friday, right? So
this Friday?
Yeah, this Friday. And there's been rumors that obviously Charlie Cox is in the movie. So it's like, why would Kevin Feige even feel the need to say something if not on Friday? And by the way, I have not seen the movie at all. But it's like, what if Kevin Feige's saying that to like prepare you that when you go see? So I'm just saying. I
thought I was gonna have no plans on Friday. I've got to buy a ticket. I gotta think of parents where I didn't realize it was already here. Holy shit!
The event is already here.
I'm like sitting here. I'm like, oh my. I may have to go see it alone. We'll see. I felt like I wasn't expecting this.
Well, so on Friday, it's actually Paulie and I's anniversary, so I might drag him to go see Spider-Man.
You're like, this is for us, but also for me. Me trying to surreptitiously buy tickets right now while we're doing this. No, I'm just joking. But remind me, I gotta get on this little town Arkansas. It sells quick.
No, it's exciting. I mean, Tom Holland's great as Spider-Man. There's so much behind this movie. We got Doc Ock coming back, and I swear, if Charlie Cox is in Spider-Man, it's just gonna be so beautiful. Brittany, imagine we get Charlie Cox in Spider-Man, Vincent D'Onofrio in Hawkeye. It's like, okay, so Kevin Feige is clearly listening to us, right? So I want to put it out in the universe here. Bring John Bernthal back as Frank Castle.
Please, because it's like the way they, what did he say? Not they, him.
It's one man. And I'm sorry,
hanging on a hook.
Frank Castle said to Daredevil at the end of season 2, remember, he says, "See you around, Red." I've been waiting for them to see each other around.
Oh, thinking back they calmed Frank Castle down towards the end
Mhm.
because remember how brutal, just absolutely like on a blood path, like a war path, whatever. He just like I didn't see him hanging people on meat hooks in the Punisher series. That I'm like that man had a little chance to calm down. I gotta imagine when he did that, it had to been straight from coming out of the hospital, coming out of coma, straight to murdering.
Yeah, I think that was supposed to be the thing that they alluded to, that what we saw in Daredevil season 2 was Frank Castle like right after. So you have to like, he's in this like fight or flight mode. And I did see that, like, because I personally really liked the Punisher season 2, but I remember that was
Yeah,
one of the like criticisms, like, oh, Frank Castle's really like, calm down, like he's even having a relationship with another woman. And I'm like, that's just development. Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't want the same Frank Castle in season 2 of The Punisher than we had in season 2 of Daredevil. I'm just saying.
I'm good with both. I do love murdering Frank Castle, but I
Oh,
do respect.
he did plenty of that in season 2. It was not like
That is true. That is true. I just still like. I feel like they should have gotten an award for the hospital scene
I thought
when
that was the best introduction of a character
when
ever.
Frank comes in with the shotgun and you see how like looking back, if he truly wanted to hurt anyone, he
He
could have, but really he was just giving warning shots.
no,
He
it
came
was
in with big dick energy and said, "Get the fuck out of my way."
no, seriously, it was like the best, like the best lead up to a scene ever. Like, as you said, it's set up so perfectly. So yeah, I'm just saying, I need the Netflix characters to come back. Literally the only person that they can replace is obviously Iron Fist. But besides that, bring them all back.
That's like this is I'm gonna throw spoiler alert out there for Spider-Man just in case because I don't know if it's truly confirmed, but to ask you. Um didn't they show the casting list and Tobey Maguire was in the list for Spider-Man?
I never believed those because back when go
The
ahead.
reason I say it is because I saw on TikTok where they said someone's going to get fired because they had put that out early and it showed the casting. And they said, who's getting fired for this? And Lionsgate Film, I think was the company, said, oh, it's us. And they were check marked. And I was like, wait, is this actually confirmed or are they just fucking with us?
I don't know, because back when Infinity War was coming out, I saw a cast list that literally said that John Bernthal was in it, Charlie Cox was in it. So I was
Uh,
like, that's why I've been like super hesitant to be excited, because I'm like, I don't want to get my hopes up. So let's just see. But I mean, I don't, if you're going to do it, this is the best time to do it. And the fact that you're bringing in Jamie Foxx, Alfred Molina, Willem Dafoe, you're bringing all of these guys back from past Spider-Man movies, it's like, why not?
you know what I think is interesting is that I never mind. I was gonna say, oh, wait a second. So you have all these villains coming back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they go, this is kind of like my theory is they're all meant to die fighting Spider-Man, right? And I was
Right.
sitting there and I was like, oh, Peter Parker, at least he's never had that happen, but he did with what's his name? Globehead.
Oh, Mysterio.
Mysterio. Are they gonna bring Mysterio back for this where he's gonna truly fight every villain that he's ever fought, alive or dead?
I mean, I hope so, because I really thought that the whole, like, because I really liked Far From Home, but I hated that they killed Mysterio off, because to me it just follows the trend of Marvel killing off their villains. And also it's Jake Gyllenhaal, and also if you want to like bring in the Sinister Six, Mysterio is a part of that. So it's like you'll never then truly have a authentic Sinister Six if you don't have Mysterio involved. So I'm hoping that that was just another one of Mysterio's illusions.
I need Fisk to meet Spider-Man. I need
because
that
because
so
he's
much.
he's a Spider-Man villain. He's a
He
Spider-Man
is.
villain.
And I remember growing up watching the animated Spider-Man series, which by the way, I want them to recreate the Spider-Man meme if they have all the Spider-Mans where they're all pointing at each other. I won't die. I will literally die. I will die happy, Tia.
Well,
But
did you ever see Into the Spider-Verse?
no, I didn't. I did
I,
not. Everybody's been getting on to me. They're like, Brittany, please.
well, I have to say, like, I watched it at the beginning of the lockdown. It's really good. Like it,
Yeah.
and I'm not even the biggest fan of like animated movies. Like to me, I'm like, if it's not in live action, it doesn't count, sort of thing. But
Yeah.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is so enjoyable as an overall film. You almost forget sometimes that it's an animated film. Not only did it introduce me to who Miles Morales is and make me want
Yeah.
him in a live action form, but it really showcased how dangerous someone like Wilson Fisk is, because he's the main villain of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so good. It really is good. It's on Netflix right now. I highly suggest watching it.
I do need to see it. I am also really excited because just out of like convenience.
Mhm.
So Erin just got home with a Chromecast, but it was Chromecast with Google TV, so it had all the apps built into it for Disney Plus to
Sure.
make it way easier to like get on there. And I'm like, oh, I have so much to catch up on, Tia. It's so hard to get me to watch things. Like I still need to watch Hannibal, and you know my obsession with
It
Hannibal Lecter. But it's so hard to get me to sit down and watch them. That's like we're watching Breaking Bad for the first time, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like 15 years late on this or something. Like, when did this come out?
Well, it is difficult sometimes for me too to even get to watch a series. Like, I'll just say this: I just got access to the first 6 episodes of The Witcher season 2, and I'm obviously super excited to watch it. But I'm like, "Ugh, when am I going to have time this week to actually watch that?" So, yeah, I guess look
You
out for
could do
that.
like
Look out for that review when it comes out.
you could do like what I did in with Punisher season 1. Remember when we were racing to watch all the episode and I watched it in the shower? I propped it up just so I could watch it and not miss any possible minute of it. That's what you can start doing, Tia.
I
It'll be great.
swear,
It'll be fine.
I swear to God, I've never binged shows the way I binge those Marvel Netflix shows. Like nowadays, it's almost as if, oh, 6 episodes. Sometimes that's really difficult for me to do. With those 13 episodes, watch it in a day. I don't need to do
Yeah,
anything
it'd be
else.
done. So it's just like those just hit so much different because even I was watching them and I was like, I remember when like the Punisher was supposed to come out whenever I was there in New
In
York
your
and it got
comment, huh?
pushed back, and
Yeah.
I was espresso depresso.
Brittany and I literally did have a race when the first season of The Punisher came out. We were like, who can watch this first? And I think like literally both of us woke up at 3 a.m. to start
We
watching it.
did.
But then I had to go to work. So obviously
Sucker.
Brittany
Sucker.
Brittany did win that one, but you
I
didn't
remember
win
I felt like
season 2.
shit. I felt like shit like the rest of the day because I woke up so early, like to the point where I was telling my mom, because this was back when I lived with them, and I was like, I can't do anything else today, mother. I must watch this show. No, I wasn't living with mom. I woke up early, told her, please wake me up if you hear my alarm go off, watched it, listened to it while driving home, not watching it, but I listened to it. But while I was driving home, so I wouldn't miss a single moment of it. I
Yeah,
had issues back then. I had a lot more energy back then. What happened to me?
we got old. But
It do be like that.
it do be. But yeah, so that is the little bit of Marvel news. I did want to move on, and so this is what I wanted to say, right? I know you haven't seen West Side Story yet, but I think it's really good. Unfortunately, I think that it opened up this weekend to like $10 million, which really isn't that great for an opening weekend.
I didn't know if that was good or bad. I didn't even know this was coming out, by the way. They didn't really advertise it.
They didn't really advertise it, and this is why I think they're not advertising it the way that they normally would. So I don't know if you heard. So the guy who plays Tony, one of the leads, is Ansel Eggert. He's the guy who played Baby from Baby Driver.
Okay, yeah.
And he's had some accusations come against him in the last few years, and people really haven't forgotten it as well as they shouldn't. But I almost feel like Steven Spielberg, who directed this new one, was like hoping people would forget about it, but they're not advertising like him, even though he's the lead. And I've noticed something that in virtually almost every press event, except for like one or two, he's not even there. He's not even there. Like they've really like removed him from the press, and even say the cast members don't even talk about him. Like, go ahead.
I was gonna say that does make sense because you sent me some of the trailers, and I think like even in the trailers you see him like once or twice, but it really focuses like on everybody else around him and just Riff talking to him, like, you know, basically fluffing him up to go do this stuff. Or you see what is her name, the female lead of West Side Story,
Maria.
Yeah, like I saw her and her talking to Bernardo, but I don't really remember seeing him.
Well, like, so, you know, West Side Story is a story about, you know, Tony and Maria. It's supposed to be a modern day Romeo and Juliet, right? And in the movie, Maria at first is dating this guy Chino, right? And so I saw on Twitter someone tweeted out going, Maria should have picked Chino. The actress who plays Maria liked that tweet and retweeted it. And but it makes me feel, and then like the actress, so Rachel Zegler is her name, right? She's like she's very like up and coming. I think she did a pretty good job as Maria. She's if you go on her Instagram, because I'm like very invested in this whole thing, right?
Yeah, I bet you are, you little drama queen.
I loved West Side Story, one of my favorite musicals. But so if you go on both her Twitter and Instagram page, she posts pictures. None of them are with Ansel. They're either with Ariana DeBose, who played Anita, with Mike Feist, who plays Riff, with the guy, David Alvarez, who plays Bernardo, the guy who plays Chino. Like, she's posting all these pictures of everyone else, none of her and Ansel. And I'm like, to me, at what point were they filming this movie and Steven Spielberg didn't go, maybe we should recast? Because when I tell you, they have no chemistry on screen. Zero.
I remember you saying when you watched it that the Baby Driver actor, I can't remember what you said, Ansel or Insel?
Ansel, Ansel. I mean, that's
okay. Ansel. That he was really flat, like he didn't have like this matching energy as everyone else.
No, and to me, it's like, you know, yes, the character Tony is supposed to be head over heels in love with Maria. I mean, the whole thing is that they meet and like 24 hours later, they're like planning to run away with each other, you know? So I get that maybe the character's supposed to be a little awkward and doofy, but to me, it wasn't coming off naturally or purposeful. It was coming off like, this guy really actually doesn't know how to act.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if like the cast doesn't like them and everybody else, then it just, I mean, it's like souring the group at that point. And people are going to be like, I don't want to watch that guy. But there's only so much I like of another character. But I was going to say, it's hatred's a lot stronger than love when it comes to these kind of movies. And the internet is unforgiving. You know what I mean? Like, if you have like, there's people that's going to boycott the movie no matter how much they love these other actors and actresses.
Well, that's very true, because it's like in all like like the movie should do good, right? You have Steven Spielberg directing it. It's a huge like property, West Side Story. And I'm telling you, everyone else did a phenomenal job. Like I liked Rachel Zegler as Maria. I discovered the actor Mike Feist, Feist, I think is how you say his last name,
Riff.
who plays Riff. David Alvarez is phenomenal as Bernardo. Like all of it's good, and even the musical numbers like hit. You know what I'm saying? But it's like
Yeah.
because people, don't forget, and so you have like one half of people who are, not wanting to see West Side Story at all because of the accusations against Ansel, which is totally valid. And then you have other people who are like saying how bad he is in acting. So that's going to make people go, well, why do I want to see it when the whole story is about Tony and Maria if Tony sucks? And I'm just like, I
Yeah.
really want people to go see this movie because it is phenomenal. Like, again, two standouts. Mike Mike Feist as Riff and Ariana DeBose as Anita.
They're
Amazing.
gorgeous. You're like they're everything you needed.
I walked out of that movie going, I had no idea who these two actors were beforehand, but now I want to know everything about them.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Tia is very loyal to the people that she likes in movies. She likes you, she will try to figure out every movie you've been in just to get
Yeah.
like a little more acting.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Speaking of that, John Bernthal, I think, is in a new movie with Sandra Bullock on Netflix that is also on my list, called, I believe, Unforgivable. And Benedict Cumberbatch is in a new movie on Netflix called Power of the Dog that I want to see. So again, very loyal to these actors.
Yeah, you are. Oh,
But yeah, so I just wanted to sprinkle that in a little. Whatchamacallit it? Should we talk about some YouTube drama stuff?
I mean, I would be perfectly fine with girl. You know.
you know. So do you want to take it away?
I'm perfectly fine with that. Just give me 1 second. I was like, I clicked on something, and now your face is floating in weird directions, and I don't know how to make it go away. So uh, yeah. What about that? Huh? Who? What is these? So wait, I got. Okay, I think I got. I got it. I did it. I did it, Tia. Are you proud of me? For once.
Just laughing more so.
But yeah, I got it. I got it. Now, on YouTube drama, I'm trying to think. Is H3 in a lawsuit right now? You may know better than I do.
They're in like several lawsuits.
Yeah, because I've heard like bits and pieces, but I haven't actually heard why.
So apparently there's this guy, Ryan Kavanaugh, who is some sort of like Hollywood producer or something. But he's also the owner of this app called Triller, which whatchamacallit it is like essentially a TikTok knockoff.
Okay, I've heard of Triller, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah. And so Ethan made like a comment, I guess, about it, just
they're like, defamation.
yeah.
And it's like what? You're a public figure. You can complain about them.
Yeah. So not only did Ethan complain about him, and then Ethan, I believe, then said that Triller was awful, but he was saying that he was giving his honest review about it. And then he also, so there's like, I doubt we're even on the radar, but it sounds like this guy, Ryan Kavanaugh, like goes on like online all the time and looks at things. So Ethan was reading an article from Variety magazine that said apparently Ryan Kavanaugh was accused by his ex-partner of being in a Ponzi scheme. And that's like from Variety. Like, article.
Yeah, but they're trying to like get onto
So pretty much Ryan Kavanaugh has like 3 lawsuits against Ethan Klein, all for like defamation and shit like that. And
damn.
Ethan's like, first of all, I'm just reading an art like a headline by Variety magazine, and
Yeah.
it's, you know, freedom of speech. So those are the lawsuits that Ethan Klein is in right now. And I'm like, I don't know how I'd be able to handle that. Like, I guess because, you know, obviously like H3 is so big, they do have money, they are very public, but I'm like, I don't know how I would like deal with that if something like that happened to us.
Oh, I'd panic. I'd be like, please. But that's the thing they get you. They intimidate you because they're like, we're gonna sue you and we have more money than you.
Well,
Luckily,
go ahead, sorry.
oh, I was just saying that that's the nice thing about having family with lawyers in it. You're like, somebody will help me. Please help me.
Well, my family doesn't have any lawyers in them, so
Sure.
but
Stop it. I'm trying to take a drink here and you're like, you're killing me here. Don't look at me. I gotta take my drink.
I do want to take a second to shamelessly plug that recently I interviewed this YouTuber who goes by the YouTube handle June the King. And I really like his content a lot. He does like 1 hour documentaries on other YouTubers. Like he did one called like The Rise and Fall of Shane Dawson. He did one.
I love Rise and Falls. Wait, that name is so familiar to me. Give me just a second.
You've probably seen his stuff. He's really good at what he does. He does a lot of research. He edits well. He formats everything in a really like easily digestible way. And so I just had like a nice,
yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I definitely suggest checking him out. He said that he most likely his next subject is going to be Keemstar. So that's going to be really interesting.
That's a good one for it, especially with Keemstar. I think he is going into retirement now. So it's a good time to wrap up the career.
I never trust a YouTuber who says they're going into retirement. It's like, how many times has Trisha Paytas said that she was quitting YouTube?
That is true. One thing with them is like the whole. I heard. I'm trying to remember any news that I did hear about the wedding because there's a lot of drama I need to catch up with. I heard that with Trisha, they're thinking that what's the word for it? That they overpaid greatly for the wedding and was scammed.
I saw something about that. There's this one YouTuber, I'm trying to remember his name. It's like Adam McIntyre or something. I know I'm getting it wrong. Hang on.
Don't YouTubers have like the craziest last names? Like, well, where you're like,
it's not like that bad. It's just I apparently have trouble pronouncing things. But his name is Adam McIntyre. I'll put a link down below. He's young, but he covers all that sort of stuff. And he was talking about how something like, you know, because like I have a life, I can't, you know, catch up on Trisha's like drama 24/7 because it literally develops every second. But he was saying something along the lines of like that she was saying that each plate cost something like $1,500, maybe a little less than that. And he's like, based on what I saw, he was like, you really overpaid. Like you really overpaid.
I've thought about that a lot because it seems like a lot of YouTubers, they all about like they want to have the biggest, most expensive wedding so they can brag about it. So they just keep like they don't even care if it's actually worth that amount. They almost want to rack up a bill to be able to brag about how expensive it was because they're the Ace family. I think they said they spent like 20,000 on a door or something.
Oh
and
my
I was
God.
like, I was like, but why? But doors aren't 20,000 to you.
That
Maybe
was
multiple doors if they were made out of like, I don't know, some hand cut mahogany bullcrap from an ancient tree. But that would be at least like 5 doors, right?
no, that's the greatest. I think H3 covers that in a recent podcast because the Ace family said something like, and they're like, and it was made out of plywood or something, and Ethan's like, girl, plywood is not going to be $20,000. Like, what are you
Yeah,
talking
that's my
about?
thing. I'm gonna say we've flipped a lot of houses. I don't remember them being that expensive. If I'm paying 20,000 for a door, it better be fully automated where I can open it with like voice recognition or some bullshit.
No, that's like a whole nother like drama. I'm not up on the Ace family or anything like that. All I know is that it seems like they're just grifters that like are hemorrhaging money. Um, but as far as like the Trisha wedding, I mean, listen, I've only seen like little like TikToks, videos, and everything. But even for what I've seen and me working weddings, it really doesn't look all that special. Um, I did want to say, like, I'm not a Trisha fan, but I did see some people kind of like trying to call her out on her black wedding dress. I personally have no problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't care. Like, how many times have you seen Say Yes to the Dress where they requested a black wedding dress or red, blue, yellow? Just
Yeah,
some like I don't care about the color of it.
like I'm perfectly fine with breaking from tradition and doing something like that, you know? So I do
And
want
a
to
lot
say
of
that.
people,
Go ahead.
I was just saying, a lot of people like to make the joke about because there's like, oh, white just to represent purity, and if she's like, girl, I am like, you know what I mean? Like she's having fun. White isn't gonna be probably the color she wants at that point.
One of my favorite Sex in the City scenes of all time is Miranda going wedding dress shopping and her getting like frustrated with the attendant who keeps bringing her white wedding dresses, and she's like, I said no white, no eggshell, I have a child, the jig is up.
Dang, I'm still mad that the Sex in the City movie made me cry. I am still mad about that. I am so mad about it. I refuse. I was like, this is gonna be some corny bullshit. This is gonna be so corny cheesy, and then it ended up being good, and I'm mad about it.
Well, my mom right now is super mad because I don't know if you saw, they just came out with a Sex in the City like revival series that's called And Just Like That. Now, I refuse to watch it. Because I think most of the time when they try to revive a popular series, they do an awful job. Um,
What
Samantha's
what
not,
was that one show? What was that one show they revived that everybody was really excited about? And it had that actor that you like, that plays an iZombie. And then it ended up being bad. It was, um,
oh, Veronica Mars.
yeah, Veronica Mars, and people hated it.
Yeah, because they, spoiler alert, but it's like 4 years old now at this point because they kill Logan at the end. And that was like a
It was
fan
supposed
favorite.
to be a big thing, and they're like, "Oh, we just didn't know what to do with them, so we killed them." And it's like,
Well,
"Oh, okay."
their big excuse was we don't know how to write an independent, strong woman who's married. And I was like, that's
Oh
literally
my God.
the laziest thing I've heard. No, but so first of all, and I won't spend a whole lot of time on this because I actually haven't even seen the show, but they came out with a new Sex in the City revival series that's called And Just Like That. Again, on principle, I'm like, what else can you do, right? Samantha's not even in it because Kim Cattrall, who plays Samantha, it's very well known now at this point that her and Sarah Jessica Parker, who plays Carrie Bradshaw, did not like each other in real life. So Kim Cattrall refused to be a part of it. So I'm like, okay. And like apparently they explain it with Samantha moved to London, you know? And there's something that happened. So I didn't watch the first 2 episodes, but my mom did, right? So she told me what
Yeah.
happened. She told me what happens in the first episode. I won't spoil it in case anyone wants to actually see it, but what happens in the first episode, you cannot tell me that the Samantha that we watched for 6 seasons and 2 movies wouldn't be there for Carrie. Fuck no. Fuck no.
I'm gonna say
Fuck no.
okay, because I don't always know the names, but is that the one that was with the actor?
The actor. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no. How many times did she fly from wherever she was in that
be
movie?
with
How many
Carrie.
times was she flying in? Because that was a big thing. Was it's like didn't they? Aiden, was that his name? The guy that she was with, the Hollywood guy.
Oh no. Samantha was with Smith Jared, the Hollywood guy.
Okay, so with him, even he was saying like, "Oh, you're always there. Like you're starting to spend more and more time there." It's like, you know, when he understood, and you're gonna tell me that she's not gonna come back for her, like whenever she's constantly like was like, "Oh, we're gonna go on the honeymoon anyways," even though the wedding, you know, I was like, no, I haven't even watched the series, and even I know, no.
What happens in the first episode? Samantha would be there for Carrie. Like, stop this bullshit. It makes me so mad because when my mom
did they kill off someone?
Okay, so spoiler alert: they kill off Mr. Big.
I knew it. The moment you said that, I was like, how are they gonna have her like trying to get back into the dating game? I'm sorry, I had to straighten up for this. My jimmies are rustled right now, Tia.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. And it's like, we could have just lived with like the end of the second movie. And the second movie wasn't even that great. Like, to me, I thought at that point, they kind of ruined the series a little, but I was like, it can be forgiven. We can get over this, right? But
I'm mad about the Mr. Biggs thing after I cried so much
over
that movie
Brittany,
about the wedding. I am mad about you. Couldn't let her have a happy ending because you wanted to make money, you motherfuckers, because you wanted to have another series.
Brittany, you watched one movie. I watched 6 seasons of Carrie trying to make it work with Mr. Big, seeing them get together at the end, and because he had a heart attack while riding a Peloton.
What's a Peloton?
That like stationary bike that costs like $4,000.
I'm mad now. We're going to end later and I'm just going to be mad trying to eat my fajitas.
No, I'm telling you, like, I already knew I didn't want to watch it. And when my mom told me, I was like, this is BS. Carrie without Mr. Big. So you literally just killed him off because you wanted an excuse, because you're like, oh, well, the whole concept of Sex and the City is, you know, Carrie trying to find the one. Well, what do we do when she's found the one? And it's like, it's the same BS that was applied in Veronica Mars.
We just want to make money. We were happy. We didn't need anything else.
It should have been an automatic, like, if Kim Cattrall, right, who plays Samantha, wasn't down to come back, you shouldn't have had it. And there's a very well-known interview that after the second Sex and the City movie, the actor who plays Mr. Big said that he just didn't think that there was anything else that they could do with the series, and that, you know, he wouldn't be interested in coming back. So I said to my mom, I was like, probably the only way they convinced him to come back was by them saying, well, we're going to kill your character off so you won't have to be in it anyway.
I am so salty right now. I haven't heard you go on about Sex and the City for how long have we been friends now? Let me think about this.
Like
it's like
7
what, 2013, years? 2014?
Yeah. About
listening to you go on about Sex and the City, which is not a bad thing, but to go into full detail of almost every episode of every situation of Mr. Biggs, of us comparing situations of stories to Mr. Big for him to. I'm mad. Sorry, and I'm salty.
And the whole thing that's crazy is like, so there is a point in the show around like season 4 when they kind of like say that Mr. Big has like heart problems because he does end up having like surgery. So it's like it's a well-known thing in like the Sex and the City universe that Mr. Big doesn't have the best heart. Why the fuck was he on a Peloton exuding his heart as like an older man? Because like his character was always like a little bit older than Carrie, I think by at least like 10 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So like say if Carrie's in her 50s, Mr. Big was definitely in his 60s. Why?
They just wanted
Why?
to see us hurt Tia.
And so now like Carrie's gonna be like in her dating, or I hate it. I hate it so much. My mom like said, she was like, it's ruined the show. She's like, I don't even want to go back and watch the episodes. And I'm like, that's so sad because it's such a great show. And for them to just like cash grab it like this is honestly ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like, oh no.
How do you do this? How do you do this to fans? How do you do this to longtime loyal fans who've enjoyed this whole thing? Like none of us were asking for more Sex and the City.
You basically said she's never allowed to be happy because the one time she finally gets what she wanted and the life she wanted, you're gonna take it away from her.
Right? She only had Big for like 5 years. Like you're telling me that Carrie throughout the whole entire Sex and the City series, again, it's all been about getting to Mr. Big, right? And then she finally gets at Mr. Big. You hurt her a little in the first movie, but it was good. It made sense, right?
A little? He hurt her a little? I'm sorry. Could you go back?
I'm just saying it was like in Mr. Big's character, right? Mr. Big has commitment issues, you know? Okay, so he was dumb. He didn't show up at the wedding, but they ended back together again, right? And then you did whatever stupidness you did in the second movie, and we forgave it. We moved on. We said, you know what? It's fine. No more Sex in the City. It's cool, you know? And then you bring no.
I'm mad that you made me get invested just to let me. The moment, literally, you know how like my brain likes to catch on to little things, and you're like, what happens in the first movie? She would have been there for her, and I went, he died. Because if it's that bad, I was like, he's dead.
Why? Listen, hang on. I'm sorry. Samantha, as you said, literally dropped everything when Mr. Big left Carrie at the altar to go on a freaking like honeymoon vacation with her. And you're telling me Mr. Big dies and Samantha doesn't get on a plane and comes? And my mom's like, oh, well, she sent a flower arrangement. No.
If something happens to Aaron and you just send me flowers, I'm good. I swear to goodness.
but that's what I'm saying. It would be like that. It would be that equivalent. It is so. I'm so mad at it.
I'm so upset now. I was gonna talk about D&D, and now I'm just mad. Now it's just.
It makes me so mad. It really does, because when they were talking about bringing the series back, I was like, well, what else do they have to do? They're either killing someone off, they're divorcing them, you know?
Yeah.
And now I'm afraid that no one's safe. Steve and Miranda, like, are they going to split them up? I can't go through that. I can't.
I know.
You know what? Because again, the series isn't called Sex and the City. It's called And Just Like That. So... And Just Like That will become the Dragon Ball GT of the Sex and the City franchise.
God, please.
It will not be canon. I do not accept it as canon. I accept it as some money-hungry studio executives trying to nibble at some shit.
Oh my gosh. By the way, if you keep seeing me look to the side, it's because Whiskey, the cat, just fully stood up, circled around so he could pin my arm underneath him so he could groom my fingers. And I have never seen him do this in my entire life of having him. So I'm just kind of confused right now. So if you keep seeing me look, I'm like, what are you doing?
Well,
what are you doing to me?
I can see the cat. I can see the cat. He's doing something. So yeah,
He's having a good old time. He's
he's
having a
having a
good
good
old
old time.
time.
But anyway, that's really quick. My mom like tweeted out, and just like that, you've lost a fan. And I was like, oh damn, mom.
Oh, damn, your mama.
Savage.
She, she's
Savage.
savage. I love it. I love it.
But yeah, I guess to kind of like round us out with our podcast and everything, which I feel like this hour flew by.
It
uh
did, especially as soon as Sex and the City got included.
yeah, I'm sorry, I really wasn't planning on going on a tangent like that.
No, it's okay. It was perfect.
But I know that you want to talk about D&D, so why don't you take it away?
I was just gonna say, like, I have hit such like I don't know how to quite say it because me and Tia met because of writing fan fiction, and D&D is just writing basically a fan fiction where the universe is already created for you, like where you're already kind of given a stage with certain little things you can do and can't do. And being able to do it with your friends. And I'm telling you, Tia, I had the best time yesterday because I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna shill for a second because we did D&D, and my group is the worst fucking group that has ever existed. Because let me explain to you real quick something. So
That's
in
not very
D&D,
nice.
no, I'm going to explain why. You have settings, right?
Yeah.
That are official settings. And one is a carnival where you work in this carnival. And the character I made is a warforged, which means that she's like a robot girl, right?
Mhm.
And I made this whole thing that she's lost her memories. She fully thinks she's a dwarf, and she is very much not a dwarf. She fully believes she's a dwarf, though. And she's innocent, she's gullible, she's just funny because somebody said look, and she's like, what am I looking at? Like, in the phrase of like, hey, look. And she's like, she's goofy. No, the rest of the group is awful. You have a character, one that gambles people that unknowingly do not know they're gambling their years of life away, and he's cultivating them. You have Ulysses, the human, who's constantly trying to buy drugs from anyone he can buy from. There's a whole part of our session of him just doing that. You have another character who wants to get even with everyone to the point that he puts rocks in people's shoes or tries to OD another character because he's mad at them. And then we have a rabbit man named Lucky Longears, where the fact that he's basically just using my character of, yeah, I'll find your dad because it's going to make me famous one day because he wants to be a detective. He's like Bunny Sherlock. This is the worst group, and I would not have them any other way because it's just hilarious. And I want one day, Tia, for you to do D&D for me because I feel like it's so big right now. It's always been big, but it's having like its renaissance phase right now, Tia.
It really
Need
is.
it.
Well, because I know virtually nothing about D&D, I can't really comment other than where's my D&D earrings?
Oh shit, I still gotta make girl, I haven't made any like dice in forever, but I'm gonna make you some. I gotta get you your Christmas gift while I'm waiting for your other Christmas gift to come in.
Yeah, no, it should be, but because it's from a certain company, it takes forever.
No,
So
I feel that no, I'm saying on mine it takes forever too. And so I'm like, ah. By the way, speaking of
he's so
which, Aaron got me a gift that wasn't supposed to be in until nearly Christmas, and I opened the door this morning and they had put it between the screen door and the door, and I was like, holy shit, it's already here. But I can't have it towards Christmas, so I'm sitting here begging, like, please. I don't know surprise. I don't know surprise. I want it now. I want to hold it in my hand.
I want this now.
Exactly.
Give
But
me
yeah,
the
I just wanted to go on to D&D for a second because I've had such a good time with it lately. I feel like you would just absolutely love it. I feel like it's the battle of whiskey and lady over here right now.
It's a good girl, lady. It's a girl. You want to say hi? You want to say hi?
By the way, audience, do not let that dog lie to you. That dog is savage and cruel and mean
No.
and territorial.
No. Okay, I'm sorry. She really
Like,
does look like
she got crazy eyes. That makes me laugh because I had a Boston Terrier named Buster almost for like my entire childhood from like 3 to 16.
Yeah.
We had Buster and he had one brown eye and one blue eye, and we had a family friend that'd go, "Oh, crazy eyes."
Oh,
and call
crazy.
him that. And that's what I think of with Lady when you pick her up and she starts giving you that wild look.
I know she really does, but in reality, everyone, she's fine. In reality, she's begging for snacks.
Oh,
That's
she
what
is
she's
a
doing.
baby. By the way,
Yeah.
Aaron's cooking something crazy spicy right now. I know he's cooking those fajitas because my eyes are burning up here. My eyes are legitimately burning, and I'm like, what are you putting in this meat? I was like, dang, girl.
But I was gonna say one last thing. Oh my god, I forgot. That reminds me, I am hungry. I should probably make myself something to eat after this.
You probably should eat. I had an uncrustable thawing just in case I didn't get to eat later.
I've never known anyone to actually eat those. I see those in the supermarket and I'm like, who doesn't just make who doesn't just make themselves a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Okay, T, imagine this, right? You're really busy with work. You haven't had a chance to eat. You're gonna have to like drive and do stuff. You have no time to eat. So you grab one of these, and by the time it is thawed out and you've gotten to work, you have a perfectly made PB&J already ready for you that you can cram down your throat. I'm a very busy woman. Do I look like I have time to get 2 pieces of bread and put peanut butter on one side and jelly on the other? And think about the environment. Think about the Ziploc bags that you were saving to put this thing. And
that's a plastic bag. That's a plastic bag. You know what you could put?
No, it's not. It's made from paper. It's just clear paper.
That's a plastic bag. You know what? You can put a PB&J in tinfoil, which does not ruin the environment like plastic does. So there you go.
I'm just saying that most people aren't.
Don't.
But I've never put a PB&J in tinfoil before.
Yeah, why not?
Maybe like no, if you had said like put it in a paper towel and like wrapped it up, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, you could do that too, but you put it in tinfoil. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I put that shit. What? You just fold it.
Oh no, you Northerners are just weird. No, sure.
I like how Brittany virtue signals me with the plastic when I've been in her car before and there's like water bottles everywhere, Sonic, which has the plastic straws.
It wasn't virtue signaling. It was just me trying to be right.
I know.
and justify myself at any means necessary. Because in my mind, I was like, well, the Ziploc bag, and this is much thinner than regular plastic, so it's fine.
It doesn't biodegrade either way. # Brittany is canceled. Anyway.
That's like Twitter all over again with Yasha trying to cancel me because he said something. By the way, that incident, for context, another streamer that is a friend of mine put on Twitter like # canceled of me flipping him off, that it was because he said something about flipping me off and they were putting flip off emotes and I was like, what, like these? And then he screenshotted me, that bastard.
# Brittany is canceled, but but anyway, this is a brand new coffee break. Just to recap, don't watch and just like that. Do actually watch West Side Story. Do check out June the King's YouTube channel. And let me know what you are thinking about the Hawkeye series. Please make sure that you are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Make sure you're following us, geekvibesnation.com. We are on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So please make sure that you're following us there. If you want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, mostly Twitter, I am so sporadic with when I post on Instagram. So mostly Twitter. It's going to be TC underscore. I can't talk. My nose is still a little stuffed up.
Dang, girl, stay healthy.
From being sick. I got the booster. I'm good. But yeah, so at TC underscore Stark. I'm Brittany. Where can they find you?
You can always find me on Twitch at Itty Bitty Brit, where, like I said, we are streaming D&D on Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Time. I am out of school, so well, at least for the wintry time until January 13th starts, I think. So I'm going to be trying to stream as much as possible when I am not working. So keep an eye out for that. You can also find me on Twitter at ittybitty0, where I'm normally going to either put polls, ridiculous stuff, or just pictures of the cats. So if you like cats, go follow me on Twitter.
Go follow her on Twitter and Twitch
Go
because
follow the cat. Don't do it for me.
do it for the cats.
Do it for the cats.
As I always say, Brittany is a very dedicated streamer who, gives a lot of her time to entertain you all. So please make sure that you're following her as well. And this has been fun coming back for another coffee break. I hope that we are back next week. But if not, happy holidays, everyone. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.